All of you should have received our CD and DVD kit that has a number of different programs in it. And we'll just review these quickly. The first one is the Tai Chi in sitting and standing, and it's got a picture of a lady in a pink shirt. And actually this is a video, so it's got video footage of Lucy doing different Tai Chi movements, and we filmed it here in Hearst by the river because I thought that would be a nice setting for Tai Chi to be done. And basically this video is to show you the different movements that can be done in a Tai Chi class. It can be scary to think, oh my god, I have to do Tai Chi, but really a lot of the residents that you're going to be working with have never done Tai Chi before, so they won't know the difference. And there are so many different movements that can be done in a Tai Chi class that the ones that you may choose to do may not be ones that somebody who does Tai Chi know about. And I think the best way to start to integrate Tai Chi into your class, your group classes, is to start by doing some of the easier movements at the end of the class or at the beginning of the class, and just doing one or two movements and practicing them. And as the residents get better and you get better, then you can add in another movement, and you know, after 3 months you've got maybe enough movements that you can do a Tai Chi class once per week. Or you can combine it with, like, for example, some of the movements from the chair yoga class, which is further along, and make a Thai yoga class. So you're doing a little bit of Tai Chi and a little bit of yoga. It's just an idea of what you can do. Now, for this Tai Chi program where Lucy is showing the different movements of Tai Chi that you can do, the hands in the clouds, and the breathing with the energy ball, and the different things that you can do with the ball, when you look in your clinical policy and procedure manual, or in community homes, it's simply your policy and procedures team manual, and you go under the programs tab. It's a big tab, so you won't miss it. There are actually, I don't know how well you'll see this, there are actually pages and pages of this video of Lucy. We've taken photo clips of each video to show you pictures of the movement as it's progressing. And just take a look in that Programs tab. It is called Programs. There's what we call the Tai Chi manual in there, and that's what it is. It's sequential pictures of each of the video movements that Lucy is teaching us here. When you look behind the disc, there is a piece of paper that describes what this disc is all about. And I suggest that you do watch it, and it will teach you some of the basic things that you can do for Tai Chi. The next one in there is the ROM dance, R-O-M dance, and R-O-M, as you know, stands for range of motion. And the first one here is a DVD, and it's got 5 different versions of the ROM dance on it. When you look behind, well, sorry, not 5 different versions of the ROM dance. It's got 3 versions of the ROM dance, but it's also got body awareness and breathing and soothing meditation in the middle. But basically you can do the ROM dance with the sunlight visualization, the moonlight visualization, or you can do it seated. And I do encourage you to watch this DVD. It's an older program, so I think the ladies have leg warmers and big hair and stuff like that. It's not a DVD to show to residents. It's to teach you how to do the ROM dance. And basically it's about an 8-minute program, and it does a gentle range of motion of all the joints in the body, all the major joints, and it's done to a visualization, and it's got really nice calming music in the background, and there's visualization of feeling the sun warming your skin and feeling different things, water lapping up from the ocean, you're sitting at a beach and things like that. And again, in that Programs tab of your clinical policy and procedure manual, or for the community home, your policy and procedure team manual, there is the ROM dance in there. And when you pull it up in your tab, you will find, just need to get it here, that we actually have the lyrics for the ROM dance in English and in French. And there's also some explanations of how you can incorporate the ROM dance into your group exercise classes, and the different principles of Tai Chi which are reflected in the ROM dance, and basically how to apply the program. So the first one here is the DVD. It has the visual, it has the music, and it has the words said for you. Okay, so you can help to learn it. So it can help you learn it. The second one, which is called ROM Dance Poems and Guided Relaxation Exercises, this is an audio CD. So this one has the video, the audio, and the music. This one has the audio and the music only. So you can play this in a CD player once you know what the movements are based on what you're listening to. You can play this in a CD player and do the group without the visual. Then when you turn over, you have what's called Reflections and Currents. So here you have video, audio, and music. Here you have audio and music. This is just the music. So what this allows you to do is once you've learned the audio, because you end up knowing the ROM dance, once you've done it enough times, you remember which comes next and things like that. At that point in time, you can put on just the music and you can make it your own. You can add in different things to give it more of a local flavor. You can do it in French, for example. If you have French clientele, you can do the ROM dance in French. You can't so much with this one because it's in English, but once you know it well enough, you can actually say the words in French or have the lyrics beside you in French and have the music to accompany you. If you want to make it last more than 8 minutes because the residents really like it, I mean these two last 8 minutes, no questions asked. There are a certain number of repetitions of each movement done. If you want to do more repetitions of one of the sequences and less of the other, you've got the music, you can do what you want with it. So it makes it very flexible in what you can do. The next program is the Therapeutic Dance program, and the first disc that you'll see is the Training DVD. Again, this is not a DVD similar to the ROM dance and the Tai Chi. This is not a DVD to show the residents. This is to help you learn the movements for the different dance moves. This is not something that would probably be done in a nursing home. It's too advanced. It may be done in some retirement homes if the residents are advanced enough and safe enough in terms of their balance, and in community settings maybe they would be able to do it. Basically, this DVD, we hired a dance instructor to get a program together for us for the elderly. And she got 2 of her dance students, so they're dressed in leotard. They're 2 young girls dressed in leotard showing the different dance movements so we can all learn what the grapevine is and what a chassis is and what a crossover. We're learning all the different kinds of dance moves anyways in this DVD. And so this is a video that shows all the different dance moves. Again, because it's a video, if you go to your clinical policy and procedure manual, or in a community home you go to your policy and procedure team manual in that program tab, the really big one. Again, we have, you may not see this well on the video, but that's okay, check in your manual. We've got sequential pictures of the different dance steps that are shown in the video so that you can learn it by watching the video, and then you can have the pictures to remind you how to do some of these movements. Okay, we've got the Charleston, we've got all kinds of stuff in there. It's a great, great program. And if you look, there's also class plans that have been developed. So it tells you which tracks from the audio CDs, because there are 4 CDs that come. So there's warm-up and corner work, partner work, and routines. And behind the disc it gives you the names of the songs that are on that audio disc. So you've actually, these 4 therapeutic dance CDs, the audio ones, are great music to use for your group classes as well. You don't only have to use them for the therapeutic dance program, you can use them for your group exercise classes because it's great peppy music to dance to. I'm sure it'd be wonderful to exercise to as well. After that, we have another audio CD that we called the Big Band Bop, and this has songs on it from the big band era. So you've got, Jimmy Dorsey and Duke Ellington, and you've got Glenn Miller, Louis Armstrong, Jeepers Creepers, those kind of songs, and it's mostly big band music. The residents love that. It's from their era, right? Then you've got the Shake, Rattle, and Roll, which is more, it's another audio CD. It's more the Elvis Presley 50s and 60s type rock and roll. After that, you've got Sounds of Nature, and on there you've got Wonders of the Ocean, you've got Autumn Breeze, you've got Sweet Sounds, you've got Lunar Eclipse, Windy Day, there's birds in there, My Playful Friends. This is a great CD to play when you're doing Tai Chi or yoga, something more relaxing, or when you break out the pool noodles, which I'll talk about now. If you go to the dollar store, Walmart, Canadian Tire at the end of the season, you can buy, you know, the big pool noodles. You can cut them in half or into 3 sometimes. You need them about this long, so shoulder width, a little bit longer than shoulder width apart. I think cutting them in half is perfect. And each resident gets a pool noodle. You do have to wipe them down after the residents use them, of course, for infection control. You can take them on a journey on the river. You can have them canoe hanging onto the pool noodle. You can have them row. You can have them kayak. You can take them on a journey. So, okay, everybody, let's get into our kayaks, and they have to do some hip flexion to get into their boat, and then take some nice deep breaths and do some stretches before they do the kayaking. And then you take them kayaking, and you've got the Sounds of Nature CD playing, for example. And you can name the river or the body of water in your local area and say, let's go for a ride on the Mattawishquia River, for example, here in Hearst. And if it's during hunting season, you can say, oh, look, there's a moose and there's a hunter, and does anybody know how to call moose? And they can call a moose, and you can get residents involved. What other animals might we see when we're traveling down the Mattawishquia River? And then, you know, they can name some animals, and then, okay, well, we've gone as far as we can go on the kayaks. Let's get out, let's put our oar aside, our paddles aside, and get out of the kayaks. And now we're going to have to swim to the rowboat. You can make them swim, you can make them do breaststroke, you can make them swim back because they went too far, you can make them run to the next boat because there's a race going on, you can make them jump in the water, you can make them do all kinds of stuff. You can make them swat at the mosquitoes because they're in the jungle of the Amazon. You can go on to Google and check what animals would I see on the Nile, what animals and birds would I see on the Amazon, and you can, you know, teach them a little bit about the animals that they would see on those different bodies of water at the same time using the noodles for different things. What else? They can go fishing with the noodles if you want to take a break, or maybe it can be a moonlight rowboat ride, and there's the fire burning, and can you smell the fire and look at all the sparks and the flames from the fire, and let's put our marshmallows on and roast our marshmallows. So they're doing some shoulder flexion isometric, and you can get them to hunt with the pool noodles if you're in an area where the hunting is a big thing. So you can get them to have that tactile thing, the pool noodle, and do something with it and take them on a trip. If you look at the back of your CDs, there's Tai Chi class clips from Pickering, and this is an actual Tai Chi class, the clips from it, of story Tai Chi, and there the Pickering physio team takes us on a story Tai Chi, so they're talking about bears, and they're talking about birds, and they're talking about babies, and doing the Tai Chi moves, but with holding a baby instead of the ball of energy. There's all kinds of things you can do. You just need to be creative. You can get a captain's hat and give the captain's hat to a different resident every class. So then he's the one or she's the one who decides what you're doing that day. Is it kayaking, rowing? What order is it in? What animals are you seeing? What body of water are you on? There's so many possibilities, and it keeps it interesting for the residents. Having balls, plastic balls that squish well, or sponge balls, they can put them between their knees and squeeze them and do Kegel exercises, which are great. The homes love it when we do Kegel exercises because it helps with the incontinence, helps with their core muscle strength as well of their trunk. You can get out scarves or bandanas, and they can do things with the bandanas. You can pretend it's cleaning day and you have to wash out the table and wash out the fridge and the windows and, you know, wring out the washcloth and all kinds of stuff. You can set the table and put the napkin up and use your imagination. Props help whatever you can. And so anyways, a little bit of a sidetrack there, but the Sounds of Nature CD is great because there are different sounds that can accompany your class if you're taking them on a tour.